Virtual tours are an interactive and immersive experience that offers a boatload of features that you're not going to get in photos or videos. But what are these features and why are they unique to virtual tours? In this video, we're going to list the 7 virtual tour features that you need to know about. So let's get started. Number 1 are aerial panoramas. The way you get drone videos and drone photos, you can also do drone spherical panoramas. Most virtual tours consist solely of ground shots. However, when you add that aerial component, you really expand the scope of your virtual tour. Aerial panoramas allow you to see much more of an area in one frame than ground panoramas, making them a better bang with your buck. In addition, they can set the tone for your virtual tours. So at Airworthy Tours, the way we use aerial panoramas is that they serve as like our main menu. So we start off with an aerial view of the area, and then from there you can select where you would like to go. So within a virtual tour, an aerial panorama should serve as your establishing shot. Aerial panoramas are great for showing off properties, skylines, and just an overall area. So make sure you include them in your virtual tours. Number 2, narration, music, and sound effects. This is arguably the most underrated feature in virtual tours, yet people are really missing out on this key feature. When most people take a virtual tour, it's usually a silent experience. Boring, but when you add narration, music, or sound effects, it increases the depth and immersion of your virtual tour, and it allows you to tell stories, which really can set your virtual tour apart. Again, with Airworthy Tours, we use a voiceover to tell you what you're actually seeing, hence the tour part of the name. Here's a quick example of how we incorporate audio into our virtual tours.
Welcome to the New Orleans Virtual Tour. Founded in 1718 by French explorer Jean-Baptiste Lemont de Bienville, and was named after the Duke of Orleans. The French Quarter, also known as Vieux Carré, which is French for the Old Quarter, is often considered the heart and soul of New Orleans. Ahead is St. Louis Cathedral, which is the oldest cathedral in continuous use in the United States.
Next, you can add 2D photos and videos into your virtual tour. While virtual tours are made up of 360-degree panoramic photos and or videos, within these 360-degree images, you can add standard 2D photos and videos. So in virtual tours, this happens in the form of something called a hotspot. And what a hotspot is a clickable element that adds even more depth to the virtual tour. For instance, on the previews to our virtual tours, you can click on the pinpoints of the points of interest. And from there, it will show a picture and a brief summary of the location. Photos and videos can also be used as pop-ups. So as soon as you click into the virtual tour, you might want to prompt a photo or a video introduction to your viewer, guiding them along the way and serving as a welcoming message. Next is VR. While the majority of virtual tours will be experienced on mobile, tablet, and desktop devices, the best overall experience is virtual reality. And that is because the user is completely immersed in the virtual tour when in VR. And also, a great thing about VR is there's not a lot of clicking that you have to do to experience. With a mobile device, for instance, you have to click every time to move the screen around. But you put on that VR headset and you can look in any direction and they're gonna see something interesting. And it just adds an overall immersion effect, especially when you incorporate the aerial panoramas with the sound. You can basically just put an IMAX on somebody's face. Having a VR component to your virtual tour is also really great when it comes to conventions and trade shows. You can now bring your product, service, or property straight to the convention hall, allowing users to experience it right from your booth. Next, you can add branding. Adding branding to a virtual tour enhances brand recognition and creates a cohesive experience for viewers. This can be achieved by incorporating logos, custom color schemes, branded hotspots, and interactive elements that align with your company's identity. Branding is very easy to incorporate into a virtual tour. However, one thing you want to consider is you don't want to add too much, right? Because we don't want to take people out of the immersion. However, on the opening screen, you can definitely put your brand and or a sponsor's brand. So another thing you can do to even make money with your virtual tour, which we'll save for another video. Next, we're going to incorporate branding and the hotspots that we talked about earlier. And that is, you can buy directly through a virtual tour. Virtual tours can take e-commerce to a whole nother level. This is because hotspots allow you to include external links. Imagine you are a hotel or resort general manager. When a customer explores your property via a virtual tour, they can immediately book a room directly through it. When you add the ability to make a purchase through your virtual tour, the user really gets everything that they need right then and there. They get to explore your property, product, or service, and from there, they can make a purchase directly through the virtual tour. So this is a great feature and one of my favorite features about virtual tours that you definitely need to check out. This is like the next level of what e-commerce is going to be, in my opinion, but we'll see. Next, you can continuously update the virtual tours. Unlike videos, for instance, right? Once you publish that video, that's it. There aren't any changes you can make to it, right? It's done. However, with the virtual tour, you can publish it and you can change an individual panorama, or you can add a panorama, or you can take a panorama away, whatever you decide to do. But that's one of the neat things about virtual tours is that you can continuously update or change how you see fit. And that's because unlike photos and videos, virtual tours are usually hosted, right? So they're kind of like, the way I explain virtual tours is like, they're almost like a website within a website. So that's how you're able to change it continuously after you hit publish. And number 7, you can visit places that no longer exist. Change is inevitable, no matter how we feel about it. Cherished landmarks can disappear overnight. However, if you capture it in a virtual tour or 360 video, you can experience that landmark or experience forever. And that is why virtual tours are so important, because they can allow memories to exist in a different dimension. Here's a story to bring that point home. For 30 years, the Mirage, an iconic resort on the Las Vegas Strip, displayed a nightly volcano show. This show lit up the Strip with its waterworks and real fire. However, the Mirage was bought out by the Hard Rock Hotel, who demolished the resort and replaced the volcano with a giant guitar. While the Mirage volcano show is gone physically, Airworthy Tours captured the show in VR video, allowing viewers to experience the show one more time in perpetuity. And you can experience that show right now by hitting the video on your screen. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.